Witchy Bitch Energy Update. I am Chase Buttice, the Witchy Bitch, and we are at the portal of initiation, the tipping point, the edge, the end of 2020, and the entrance into 2021. And I want to speak to this. I want to kind of close out these energies of 2020 that we've all been through this year, this one of the most intense years of all of our lives, and talk about what we're coming into in the era of Aquarius in 2021, what's on the horizon, what to focus on, how we can prepare ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and for the transformation, transmutation, shift that is in the process of emerging. So 2020 was, it's so ironic because everybody was like 2020. Remember when 2020 started? Everybody was like, oh yeah, 2020, it's going to be like the, it's 2020 vision. It's going to be great. And in a way, 2020 did give us 2020 vision. It gave us 2020 vision into the darkest aspects of ourselves and humanity. This was a death year. This was a year of absolute change and decimation of our systems, our societies, our governments, our individuality, our sense of self, of who we are out in the world. And we had this really amazing and unique time to go inward, to really, really face our own selves, or face our own fear. That's what I believe I was working with the majority of this year, was facing my fear. And it really wasn't even just the fear of the economy or the fear of the political. It was really the deeper fears within the self, right? The things that I'm actually afraid of, because all that's just, that's just like, those are the external realities, but that we don't see, that we don't feel every single day. Our internal reality, ourselves, our being. What is it that we are afraid of within the self? And so this was really the year for me where I really went into my own darkness. I really, really went into the parts of myself that I avoided at all costs because I had nowhere to distract myself. And what I found was the deepest thing for me, and the thing that I am really actively releasing and stepping into, is this thing with boundaries and being an empath. And it really, really, really connects to the way that I overgive. It's also deeply connected to my self-worth. It's also deeply connected to this idea that the feminine, the divine feminine, must, in order to be worthy, serve the masculine. And I think the masculine has been this system that we've all been living within for so long, this patriarchal, hierarchical system that has been decimated now. And we're all on this kind of playing field where it's kind of chaotic, but also really exciting. And I feel that this time of creating these boundaries within the self, of creating this choice of not overgiving, this choice of, not overly serving the masculine, whatever that means. It's not just serving men, it's serving masculine energy. It's serving the rational. It's serving, the place within ourselves where we, don't totally dismiss our intuition. And this is really, really, really the most important part. It's this time, this initiation, this was a 4-year, 2020 was a 4-year. This was the year of, the 4 represents tradition, conservatism, a hierarchy. And that's very Saturnian. All of that was kind of just scrubbed out this year with the Pluto-Saturn conjunction. And what we're getting now in this 2021 is a 5-year, which more is about the energy of Jupiter, which is more about this kind of expression of personal freedom, this kind of age of Aquarius, I feel like at this last edges of this last 2020 year, I feel like I've just been hiking, and I've been feeling this almost this kind of birthing energy where I feel anxious, and then I feel alive, and then I feel uncertain, and then I feel excited. I feel like my authentic self, and I'm in my authentic power, and then I kind of go back in. And I kind of took this hike the other day, and I just went to the top of the mountain, and I just was spitting out all this stuff that I had I feel like this whole year I've just been absorbing. In Chinese medicine, your lungs are the center for grief. And I just was spitting out all this mucus. And I was just I got to the top of this mountain, and I just held on to the rock, and I just let it all out. I just let myself completely grieve for the earth, for the people on it, for the pain that everyone has endured this year, for all of the fear, I just released. And whoo, that felt so good. I mean, that's really the ultimate shadow work, is facing the thing that you are avoiding and processing it, which really, for me, ultimately comes down to my grief. It's like letting myself grieve in a very deep way. It's almost like I hit something in my chest where I'm like releasing this kind of blown up balloon that just looks like and then after I do that and I process it and I face it and I allow it, the new can come in. And so I did that yesterday, and I'm feeling this really, really powerful shift as we are on the edge of this birth of a new era. I'm feeling this initiation into the age of Aquarius. And really, the 5-year is all about the expression of personal freedom, which is absolutely very Aquarian. It's about individualism, unconventional, non-attached. You know, everything I've been talking about with this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which Jupiter is expanding, right? Pluto and Saturn Pluto was destroying our energies of hierarchy and patriarchy in all of 2020, right? Forcing us all to reconcile with ourselves, where we've internalized that within ourselves, within our families. And then now in 2021, Jupiter's coming in and expanding literally that idea of tradition. And it's reinventing. It's reinventing our traditions. It's expanding. It's illuminating, right? It's including. But what that really means is that this is an era of personal freedom. This is an era of authentic expression, where we're not judging ourselves against this one person at the top, this one white man at the top that's kind of like, no. That's kind of over, y'all. You know what I mean? And we're in a new era now. And, you know, the thing that I think is really, really important is the thing that I'm focusing on the most for 2021 is where I am putting my focus and intention. So, you know, forget about what everyone else is doing in your life. What are you doing with your life? You know, and the focus and the attunement of my energy is what is going to create and is what is creating this true authentic power within, because this is really what I think within our era, and what I think creates the fear, and what I think creates a lot of our dismemberment of our consciousness, is that with technology, we've become very scattered, and we lose our focus, and, you know, we are not able to integrate or because whatever you focus on is what you are. And with technology, it's so fast and the focus is so splintered. I've noticed this with myself lately. I've been really paying attention to what I focus on and how I'm just like going down the rabbit hole one minute of like watching YouTube videos about like the dumbest shit, you know? I mean, I think I was like watching Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell like interviews the other day. I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing down this YouTube rabbit hole right now? Like, and like, blah, 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 bring it back to center. It's like, I've been noticing how sometimes it's like the internet is just like scattering us. And to really be in our authentic power and to really be in our authentic truth, we got to bring all that back in and and this is part of what I'm talking about with the boundaries and the reconciliation of the boundaries, especially as an empath. It's starting to be vigilant and focused and have intention with our energy. You know, I was thinking about it, you know, our energy is the most important. And, you know, the phrase like, and we must learn to protect and to serve it. And it's funny because that's like the you know, the phrase for the police, to protect and serve, but the police are kind of like having a crisis point. Right? And to protect and serve, we've been like, you know, these external positions, these external things, these external authorities are going to protect us and they're going to serve us, right? No, we're the ones that protect and serve ourselves. We are the ones that are vigilant with our energy and put our intention and our focus in the things that we are ready to bring in. And that is what 2021 is all about. So, you know, what I want you guys to really think about in this era, in this new era of initiation, what are you ready to bring in for this year? What is going to bring you beyond materiality, okay? Because we get really stuck in, I need this amount of money. And I understand if you're financially challenged right now, which a lot of people are, that's a real thing. But the basis of what I'm learning is that all of the materiality comes when we're serving our spirit and we're serving our soul and we're attuned and we're focused with what we want to project, what we want to create, and we allow ourselves and we give ourselves the time and the space to get ourselves into a creative flow. We give ourselves the energy, the focus, the power to allow ourselves to create. And I think this has been a really big thing, especially for empathic people, and people that are very, very sensitive, the witches of the world, where we have felt that it is like our duty to serve people, the humanity's energy, because humanity has been raised in this system that is very numb. The masculine hierarchical system is all about numbness and rationality. So us empaths that are really sensitive are like doing all this emotional labor for all these people that can't feel. And it's splintering all of our energy everywhere. It's literally splintering all of our energy everywhere, right? And it's time to bring all of that energy back in. Bring it all back in. Learn to detach, because really when you're serving that energy, that thing, that person, that being, that entity cannot ever figure out how to do it for themselves. So it becomes a codependency. And it's what the narcissist empath dynamic is about. It's what codependency energy is about. It's imbalanced, sick, male-female dynamics. It's the yin and the yang. It's the imbalance of the yang for so long and for so many years. And now that the yin is rising, it's like about the yin, because the powerful empathic, energies of the planet need to learn how to protect and serve themselves. Protect and serve their own energy. So I want you all to kind of think about what you want to bring in for this year, and where your focus, what, if you can, this would be my number one recommendation for 2021, is get yourself an altar. That's my altar back there. That's where I sit and I pray every day, every morning and night sometimes. Every morning for at least an hour, though, I sit at my altar. And some of you, I'm sure you're like, oh, I got to work and I got kids and I got this and I got that. You can take 5 minutes out of the day. You can take 5 minutes out of the day, okay? Where you connect, you sit, and you listen to yourself, your internal voice. Because really, what the empaths have, what all of us have, because all of us are empathic, it's whether or not, but some of us have come into this earth very sensitive, very psychic, but we don't know what to do with this energy, and we kind of get trampled. And fortifying this energy is what will bring ultimate power and creativity, and actually what will begin to shift the energy of the planet is the yin energy. And so learning to give yourself, protect and serve your energy, which means giving yourself time and space, which means giving yourself energy, time, and allowance to hear, feel, listen to yourself, your inner voice, your intuition. Where is it guiding you? The only way we can begin to get clear about that is sitting with the self quietly and beginning to cultivate a practice of prayer, connection, where at some point you start to believe, receive. Believe and receive, they're a cycle. They're a unit. And there must be a connection. There must be words that are spoken and some sort of connection to this realization of the self as part of God consciousness, as part of the creative flow, as a unified part of the whole. And so as you begin to allow yourself to open up to that, the more the creative flow will begin to flow through you. There will become more and more projects, more and more things, more and more ideas that start to come to you, which will create the materiality that you are looking for. But it's all about attuning to the energy, focusing on the energy, being vigilant about the energy. And yeah, that's why this year is really going to be the year of boundaries, protect and serving the energy, our own energy of the empath, of the sensitive ones, of the psychics, and beginning to hone in, harness, cultivate, and focus our power towards the world we want to see for ourselves, towards the world we want to see for our children, for each other, really for the highest good. And, we can go into like, I want this and I want that thing, if you're starting to think about the kind of world that you want to create for yourself, but really, what is the intention behind it? What is the reason behind it? You want to have things so you feel safe. You want to have material things so you feel pleasure. That's good. Yes, we need those things. That's nice. That's great. But in the end, what is the true intention behind it? Because I think a lot of us really want material things, and anybody that you talk to that's a spiritually minded person who's wealthy says that their things don't really matter to them anymore. Like nothing really matters to them. It's the things are actually the thing. And I hear this over and over, and I'm like, we get stuck in this idea that we want money and we want stuff. But what we really want is freedom. What we really want is this deep sense of personal security and safety and connectedness to something higher than ourselves, and the ability and the satisfaction and the pleasure of creating whatever it is that is meant to come through us. That is the ultimate authentic power. That is ultimately what we are meant to do on this planet. The materiality comes from that. It's the energy, you guys. It's the energy. So at this portal of initiation of 2021 into this 5-year, the age of Aquarius, this year of a fierce individualism and power, what is your intention, and why is your intention, and how can you get yourself into this creative flow by focusing your energy, by giving yourself time and space to attune to your intuition and allow yourself to begin to be guided, to receive higher guidance, and to know that you have the power. No one outside of you does. You do. All right. I love you all. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful new year, and see you next soon.